In today's news, a speaker cites procedural error in ruling. Premier condemns timing of no confidence motion. Honorable WALWYN blames TRINI advisor for Premier's, and I quote, divisive politics. The UN Decolonization Committee visits to the BVI have been hailed a success. Opposition walks out as Premier objects to motion. We have the details of this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Pop the Balloon or Find the Connection. Let's meet our first contender, ladies. Okay, Joey, so do you have any toxic traits?
I'm very restrictive. I don't give more time. What you get is what you get. I don't like to give unlimited time. That's it.
Okay, can you tell us why you popped your balloon?
That's a little too restricted for me.
Thank you for coming. Okay, ladies, so let's meet our second contender.
Sorry, excuse me. Why did you pop a balloon? I could give you minutes, data, unlimited call, overseas call, fiber. What else you need?
My friend used to date you. You are scam. She used to be for everything and more. Nothing to offer.
Okay, ladies, let's welcome our last contender. You look nice. Can you tell us your name?
Thank you. My name is Christian Charles Thomas. They call me C Sweetie.
What do you have to offer these ladies?
Well, security, trust, unlimited time, and a pretty fast.
Okay, so do you have any deal breakers?
Nah, but here's my number. 444-4444. Y tú, vida ilimitada.
Okay, guys, so no pop balloons.
For a fast, reliable, and secure connection for your personal or business life, call us at 444-4444 or visit any of our CCT stores and we'll get you connected with the perfect match for you.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. It is Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Wednesday is wished to each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for joining us. The Speaker of the House of Assembly, the Honorable Corinne George Massicott, ruled that the opposition's motion of no confidence against Premier, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, could not proceed due to a procedural breach of the House of Assembly's rules. The decision was made during Tuesday's sitting, where the Speaker cited a violation of Standing Order 23 as the basis for her ruling. Our Kamal Haynes has more on this report.
The issue was brought to the Speaker, Honorable Corinne George Massicott's attention by Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, who rose on a point of order, arguing that the no-confidence motion submitted by Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Roddy Skelton, was not in compliance with the established parliamentary procedures. According to Speaker George Massicott, Standing Order 23 clearly states that any notice to move a motion or ask a question in the House of Assembly must be submitted to the Clerk of the House, not directly to the Speaker. In her explanation, George Massicott referred to Standing Order 24, which outlines the timeline for submitting motions or questions, noting that the submission should occur either during a previous sitting or at least 7 days before the next sitting. However, she clarified that this was not the issue at hand.
Except as hereinafter provided, no member shall ask a question or make a motion unless he shall have given notice in writing of such question or motion, either at some previous sitting of the House or to the clerk not less than 7 days previous to the hour of sitting of the House, at which such question is to be asked or motion to be made. And then there are some qualifications. In going under Section 23, where under any standing order notice is required, such notice shall be given in writing, signed by the member, and addressed to the clerk. Such notice shall be handed to the clerk or sent to or left at the clerk's office during the period prescribed for the purpose. The period prescribed for this particular purpose is 7 days. No, I don't believe there were any issues raised in terms of whether or not the prescribed period of 7 days were met.
In this instance, Skelton submitted the motion directly to the Speaker, which the Speaker confirmed was the main procedural error directly in contravention of Standing Order 23.
When taking these various matters into account, one has to look to see if there are any other conditions that may allow for such exemptions of such prescribed. In this particular case, I have not identified within the standing orders or from my research where such motion given to the clerk accepted by the Speaker. In light of this, I am in agreement that the standing order, in particular 23, was not adhered to. And I do not believe anyone questioned whether or not I had such a discretion to allow the matter to still proceed, given that the proper procedure was not followed. So it is my ruling that Standing Order 23 was not adhered to, and as such, the motion was not properly placed on the order paper.
The Speaker also acknowledged her own oversight in the matter, admitting that if she had been more thorough in reviewing the standing orders, she could have corrected the procedural mistake in time.
The motion was in fact passed on to me via email, and that was passed on to the clerk. So it was passed to me and then provided to the clerk. And what I can go further in stating is that had I double-checked my standing orders, I would have had time to then redirect the member to the proper procedure. So I will take fault for that.
She expressed her commitment to ensuring that such errors do not recur and emphasized that there will be strict adherence to the rules and regulations governing the House of Assembly moving forward.
The common themes that I heard today was the proper following of rules and procedures. And so I hope that we will all be guided moving forward, that we are to ensure that we follow proper rules and procedure, as I will be expecting that.
The ruling effectively removed the no confidence motion from Tuesday's order paper. However, a submission has already been made to have it included in the order paper of the next House of Assembly sitting. Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, has strongly criticized the timing of the opposition's recent motion of no confidence, labeling it both ill-timed and damaging to the territory, especially given the current order in council hovering over the Virgin Islands. The motion, which was listed on the order paper for the 19th sitting of the first session of the House of Assembly on September 3rd, 2024, was ultimately removed after Premier Wheatley successfully objected to its inclusion, citing procedural failures by the opposition. He described the motion as, and I quote, a grab for power at a critical juncture for the territory.
But, Madam Speaker, the members of the opposition spoke about bipartisanship, Madam Speaker. And yes, we acknowledge the bipartisanship as it pertains to responding to the COI. And we also acknowledge bipartisanship, which has been the tradition of this House on matters of financial services. Madam Speaker, members of the opposition don't have to act like they're doing the government a favor. Or somehow or the other, they should be celebrating for acting in the national interest, Madam Speaker. But to suggest that the government must be bipartisan in their efforts to hurt the country, to cause instability at a time when stability is badly needed, to suggest that the government should excuse where procedure has not been followed.
Premier Wheatley emphasized that his government has been at the forefront of the ongoing reform process, addressing long-standing issues and significantly strengthening key areas within the Virgin Islands. He argued that the opposition's attempt to destabilize the government at this very point could undermine these efforts, particularly with the looming threat of the Ordering Council.
In an effort to do something which is incredibly damaging to the Virgin Islands, at a time when an Ordering Council is hanging over our heads, that we could not wait at least until we went to England, that we couldn't even wait until, we couldn't even wait a few days until after August 31st. We were salivating over the opportunity to make this power grab, rush for power.
The motion comes just as Premier Wheatley prepares to travel to the United Kingdom for a crucial meeting with the UK Minister of Overseas Territories, along with the Governor. During this meeting, Premier Wheatley is expected to request the lifting of the reserve of the Ordering Council, which could potentially suspend the Virgin Islands Constitution if ever invoked.
Madam Speaker, and persons spoke about their disappointment and what members of the public have expressed, that the members of the public want this. The members of the public who have contacted me have expressed great disappointment in this great disappointment in the timing of this motion of no confidence. And the persons who have, Madam Speaker, some persons spoke to me and tell me about decency and all types of things. Not a soul interrupted anybody.
Premier, what I was going to say is if you could now make it brief so that I could just give my ruling so that we can move forward, please.
Madam Speaker, I will close by saying, Madam Speaker, we are not saying that the members of the opposition cannot bring their motion of no confidence because they have the constitutional right to do so. But if they want to do so in a manner that I believe is extremely damaging to the Virgin Islands, they're not going to have my help in doing so. I will certainly use every standing order possible, Madam Speaker, to ensure that they adhere to the rules. It was attempted to be done in a clandestine manner, as the member of the third confirmed.
Viewers, up next, we have much more on the local scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
At Partners for Kids, your child's health and happiness are at the heart of everything we do. We've been the trusted medical home for children and adolescents up to 18 years old. And now, we are excited to welcome a new member to our family of healthcare professionals. Introducing Dr. Aisha Maxwell, our new family practitioner. Dr. Maxwell brings a wealth of experience and deep passion for pediatric and adult care, ready to join our team in providing first-rate health services to your family. At Partners for Kids, we believe in a collaborative approach to healthcare. With partners in occupational therapy and clinical psychology, Partners for Kids, where caring is just the beginning. Visit us at Road Reef Plaza, Tortola, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call us at 284-444-5437 or reach out at info@partnersforkids.com to learn more.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Orange alert! Orange alert!
Fire is spreading across the BVI. The fastest, most reliable, and affordable fiber internet in these new locations: Slaney, Duff Bottom, Manual Reef, Seacows Bay, Albion, Hannah's, Palestina, Pleasant Valley, and Havers. Fiber is in your area. Call 444-4444 or visit a CCT store to find out more and bring it home. More locations coming soon.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Moving right along, 6th District Representative Legislator the Honorable Myron V. WALWYN has openly criticized Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley's political tactics, attributing what he describes as a controversial and divisive style of politics to an advisor of Trinidadian descent within the Premier's team. WALWYN's remarks were made during an impromptu opposition press conference on Tuesday, September 3rd, shortly after Premier Wheatley successfully moved a motion to remove the opposition's no-confidence motion from the House of Assembly's order paper. Responding to a statement released by the Office of the Premier, WALWYN took issue with Premier Wheatley's comments, where the Premier accused the opposition of self-serving behavior by calling for a no-confidence motion against a government he claimed, and I quote, had cleaned up the mess left by the opposition.
Today, his office, he has a man from Trinidad here who is causing nothing but confusion in this country, bringing his Trinidad politics to create trouble and confusion. And I want him to hear me well. I'm going to live on top of you until you come out of here, because this is not the kind of politics that we want in our country. He's being paid $10,000 a month on the public's purse just to be a spin doctor for the Premier. So today he sends out a graphic where the Premier is saying that we want to bring this motion after he done clean up the mess, legislative mess that was brought by other governments and even some of us who are in the government now.
WALWYN argued that such rhetoric was both divisive and disingenuous, and expressed concern that the Premier's approach is influenced by his advisor could harm the social fabric of the territory. He accused the Premier of overlooking the significant role the opposition has played in advancing the Commission of Inquiry reform legislation, ensuring that it met the necessary standards for the passage through the House of Assembly.
When I read that, it hurt me to the core. I'll tell you why. Because the Premier himself, when he brings his bills to the House, has no idea what is entailed in those bills. And many of its members are rather worse. There was one female who spoke today who is always absent from the House. I don't know where she finds her voice from now, because she never comes to the House of Assembly. She doesn't read any bills. She knows nothing of what is going on. It is this opposition that has assisted and helped the government to pass all those pieces of legislation. And for him to turn around and suggest that he cleaned up our mess, to me, is so disingenuous. Even in his last press conference, he thanked everybody for moving things along, except being magnanimous enough and decent enough to thank the opposition for the work that we have been doing in moving the
6th District Representative also accused Premier Wheatley of overlooking the substantial support he received not only from the opposition but also from CARICOM and the OECS member states. This support, according to WALWYN, was instrumental in preventing the immediate imposition of the Order in Council by the United Kingdom following the COI recommendations.
I remember specifically asking the Premier a question some months ago. How is it you believe that the COI folks, that the UK did not use the Order in Council right away? The man get up and said it's him, because of his ingenuity and his leadership, completely forgetting the fact that many Caribbean leaders stood up for this country. It's a behavior and a
The United Nations Special Committee on Decolonization completed a successful visiting mission to the British Virgin Islands from the 25th to 28th of August to hear firsthand local views on the full decolonization of the territory, the state of the BVI's relationship with the United Kingdom, as well as perspectives on the political future within the territory. From 26th to 27th of August, C24 delegation engaged a wide range of societal stakeholders at meetings on the islands of Tortola, Virgin Gorda, which included virtual participation from stakeholders on the islands of Anegada and Jos Van Dyke. Now, the C24 delegation clarified that their role on the ground was simply to listen to the freely expressed views of persons on decolonization and not to seek to influence or steer the territory in any particular political direction. They emphasized that the political future of the BVI and the timing of full decolonization was exclusively a matter for the people of the BVI to determine, and that the C24 will support the aspirations of the people of the BVI according to Special Committee's mandate. Commenting on the visiting mission, the BVI's UN representative in Latin America and the Caribbean, Mr. Benito Wheatley, said, and I quote, "The engagement by the local stakeholders with the C24 delegation was robust during the visiting mission, which the BVI government initially requested in April of 2019 that was subsequently approved by the Special Committee in February of 2024. After several years of diplomatic engagement between the BVI government and C24 and UK. Viewers, up next, we have much more on the local scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Hi, my name is Judy, VI Motors Operations Assistant, and today I'm here with Ding, one of our mechanics, and we are going to show you how you can check your engine oil level, as it's an essential part in maintaining your engine's health.
First, let's pop the hood. Here's the oil dipstick. We'll pull it out, wipe it clean with a cloth, reinsert it, and pull it out again to get an accurate oil level reading. As you can see, the oil level should be between the minimum and maximum markers on the dipstick. If it's below the minimum, it's time to add some oil. Checking your oil level is simple yet a crucial task. Make sure to do it regularly to keep your engine running smoothly. And remember, if you're not sure about your vehicle's specific oil requirements, always consult your owner's manual or a professional mechanic at VI Motors. We offer a diverse range of top quality engine oils, so visit us at Dove's Bottom or our location at Parks Point, Virgin Gorda, or call us at 494-2496 or visit us on our website at www.vimotors.com.
Life is unpredictable, and when a storm is coming, having a plan can make all the difference.
We need a plan in case of a hurricane. Everyone, let's work together on this.
This is where we go in case if we need to evacuate. This is safe away from flood zones.
I will use this room as our secure space if we have to stay home.
Don't forget to save our local contacts and also our off-island contacts.
Right, and we need to have a plan for our pets too. They can't go to shelters, so we need a safe place for them.
In case we get separated, we should have a meeting spot. How about the community center?
That's good, and we can leave a note there too.
I feel safe knowing we have a plan.
With a plan, you're not just preparing for the worst, you're taking control of the situation. A message from the Department of Disaster Management and 284 Media.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Tensions ran extremely high, as you might know, during the September 3rd sitting of the House of Assembly as opposition members staged a walkout following the failure of their no confidence motion against Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley. The walkout was triggered by a series of procedural challenges that delayed the opposition's motion, ultimately resulting in the motion being removed from the House's order paper. The drama literally unfolded when Premier Wheatley moved to have the resolution brought by Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Ronnie W. Skelton, placed under private members' business rather than public business government. This sparked strong reactions from the opposition. Honorable Skelton accused the Premier of manipulating the standing orders to serve his interest and those of the government.
I give my notice or give my motion of no confidence to you more than 7 clear days, like I did questions than I did any other matter that relates that we have to hand over to the over to your offices. And it seems when there's not a speaker, then the clerk takes precedent. But when there is a speaker, you know, and I thought I did the right thing. The Premier wants to be exact. It says at the clerk, I left at the clerk's office. So I am of the view that when I leave it with the speaker, I left it with the clerk. And the Premier is trying to be very technical here for one reason I don't know.
Honorable Myron V. WALWYN, another opposition member, expressed frustration, pointing out that the opposition had been more than accommodating to the government for the past 3 months, including allowing, and I quote, last-minute bills to be introduced that were not on the order paper initially.
Madam Speaker, in parliamentary democracies, to get things moving, bipartisanship is very important. And I think the opposition over the last 3 months have been extremely, extremely accommodating to the government. We have made such steps, Madam Speaker, that you have seen that we have not done questions and answer to questions. They would normally appear in the order paper before government's business. We took a decision as an opposition in the interest of the matters that were pressing for the COI. Notwithstanding, they're not our fault, they're not our issues. We had no negotiations with the British government. That was all done by the government.
WALWYN emphasized the need for partnership and bipartisan and cooperation among all members of the Honorable House.
We suspended questions and answers to questions on matters that were pertinent and important to our constituents. We also, Madam Speaker, decided that in the interest of time, we wouldn't do other business and comment on the other business. We allowed, Madam Speaker, during the sittings, as we saw on the last occasion, that we had an order paper that said certain things. Even these 12 bills or 13 bills that are before us, they went on the order paper for the first time last Thursday. Unprecedented. That is not the way the system works. But we allowed the Premier during the sitting last week and other sittings before that to introduce bills at the last minute that were not on the order paper.
Members of the government, however, stood in solidarity with their Premier, asserting that while the opposition has the right to bring forward a motion of no confidence, it must adhere to the rules, just as Speaker George Massicott, the Honorable Corinne George Massicott, that is, was about to make her final ruling on the matter. The opposition members abruptly walked out, leaving the House of Assembly without a quorum. However, Honorable Julian Fraser later returned to the chamber, allowing the session to continue.
Madam Speaker, I'm not begging you for a opportunity to clarify what clandestine measure you're talking about. There's nothing clandestine about what we did, Madam Speaker. The Deputy Premier suggested that courtesy would have been played out if the Leader of the Opposition had discussed the matter with the Leader of Government Business. That's ridiculous.
Madam Chair?
Members, okay, at the end of the day, I'm ready to make my ruling.
Madam Chair, I just don't want to be misquoted.
I think the longer we carry this on, it's going to continue to happen.
What did I say? What did I say that you're being misquoted about? The Premier is talking about clandestine. There's nothing clandestine about what took place.
Minister for Education, please. Premier, can you finish up, please, so I could give a ruling?
This fiasco has been labeled by many locals as Hollywood House of Assembly. Of course, we'll keep you posted. Viewers, that is it for today's News Roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at tweet4media.com, and of course, like us on Facebook at tweet4media and tweet4bvi on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. Do have a safe and enjoyable evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Good evening.